Hey everyone, it's Cassius, Tryptamine Astrology Readings, and what we have today is, in my personal opinion, it feels like kind of a nice warm morning right now. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to think that it feels like this because of the astrology of today, but it feels like that to me. It feels like Venus sextile Mars is starting to come on, in my opinion. But what is actually happening is Mercury is retrograding back further to square Mars and conjoin the Sun to square Mars at the same time as Sun square Mars peaks. So I mentioned this about a week ago, and now it's time for that to peak. It's going to be a really volatile time for the next several days as Mercury moves backwards slowly to square Mars, the Sun peaks squaring Mars, which will happen, well, let's look. Let's see. Okay, so Sun square Mars will peak tomorrow, September 12th. Well, actually, it peaks September 12th and 13th. So that's also when Mercury peaks squaring Mars. Mercury peaks, yeah, September 12th. So if there were a time where we could predict some kind of extremely volatile event or some kind of volatile moment, that would be tomorrow. September 12th and 13th is when, as you can see on September 12th, Mercury and the Sun exactly conjoin to square Mars. So if there were a time where a volatile event could be predicted, it would be this time. Also, today we have Venus square Pluto at the same time as the Moon is conjunct Pluto, and I'm not really feeling it that much. It feels kind of peaceful and serene to me. That might be the circumstances. You could have some kind of social purging, some kind of volatile explosion, something like that. But in my opinion, it feels like we're feeling immune to everything that's hard because of how long we've been going through this Saturn square Neptune, how long we've been going through everything this year. It feels like we're immune to everything, in my opinion. So, yeah, it feels pretty good today to me. Venus sextile Mars is going to alleviate a lot of the bad feelings from Sun and Mercury square Mars and everything that's happening. So we can look forward to Venus sextile Mars. It will also occur at the same time as Mars trine Uranus, and Mars trine Uranus might be actually what I'm feeling right now, because Mars trine Uranus is a euphoric, extremely euphoric aspect, and that will be like the highlight of next week. So as we transition out of Mercury and Sun square Mars, we'll have positive aspects like Venus sextile Mars, Mars trine Uranus, but that will happen at the same time as Venus opposition Uranus, which is a socially electric, volatile aspect too. So let's see what we have. Let's see when Mars trine Uranus peaks. Yeah, so Mars trine Uranus will be a super euphoric, energizing aspect that we're going to feel that will happen around the same time as Venus sextile Mars, and as Venus goes to oppose Uranus, it will be kind of really energetic but more positive than a regular Venus opposition Uranus, because Mars will be there to make it warm in what I call an opposition sextile trine or whatever. So September 16th, next week we'll have much higher energy than we've been feeling with this cold Saturn square Neptune. It's going to be a much higher energy week next week. Mercury retrograde and, cold Virgo will still be cold, Sun in Virgo, but it will be much higher energy next week. There's no doubt about that. Mars slowly trine Uranus is a super energetic, euphoric aspect. Venus sextile Mars makes the social climate of the day warm, especially in the signs Libra and Sagittarius. So, yeah, that's a really extended peak of Mars trine Uranus. Something might happen on September 18th because the moon will conjoin Uranus at the same time as Venus sextile Mars peaks. Mars trine Uranus is still peaking. So, if something might happen on September 18th. Just kind of a fun prediction, but yeah. So it's going to be a much higher energy week. Mercury conjunct the North Node is kind of positive, but there will be a moment when Mercury goes the furthest distance back that it goes, like 14 degrees, and it's almost opposite Neptune and almost square Saturn, but not quite. And then we'll have this Sun conjunct Jupiter, which will feel like this positive moment of clarity as Mercury leaves retrograde September 25th. So this is a little bit into the future, but yeah, look forward to that. We're coming out of this Saturn square Neptune finally. So, yeah, higher energy times. Much love. Peace.